Alan Cumming, best known for playing Nightcrawler and X2, said, don't know who I was acting with half the time in Doomsday. I heard that at first and I was like, is my boy got Alzheimer's? What's happening? But we'll talk about it. So Josh Wilding reporting, like Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame before it, Avengers Doomsday is a highly secretive production with so many actors needed on set. The Russo brothers are likely facing some unique challenges, though that's nothing new to them. With Avengers Infinity War, for example, Benedict Cumberbatch's busy schedule meant he wasn't on with his co-stars a lot of the time. A double shot many of his scenes, with Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange later inserted into those. Several other actors in the same sequences never even met, and moviegoers were none the wiser. Something similar is happening with Doomsday, and X2 X-Men United star Alan Cumming revealed some of the unique challenges he faced on set while reprising his role as Nightcrawler. I did the entire production in isolation. Lots of green screen, face replacement, he told Gold Derby. They even gave characters fake names. I don't know who I was acting with half the time. Cumming added, I did break the internet by mentioning something once, but honestly, I might have got it wrong. That's a reference to him previously saying he had been shooting a fight scene with Mr. Fantastic actor Pedro Pascal. However, as previously acknowledged that he got in trouble for revealing that, we'd bet on Reed Richards and Kurt Wagner still crossing paths. Cumming will be de-aged as Nightcrawler, while the face replacement he refers to is likely for actors who weren't available. Now, some social media users have been critical of this approach to filmmaking, but as noted, it's nothing the Russo brothers haven't done before. In another recent interview, Cumming called his Avengers Doomsday experience amazing and said it was healing and really nice to go back to something that it was a terrible experience when I did it the first time. A great film. I loved the film. It was actually really great to go back, he continued, and especially, I'm 60 years old. I did not think I'd be doing stunts, playing a superhero in my 60s. So that was great. And everyone was really nice. And I got it done really quickly because I couldn't go because of the traders when most of my scenes were being shot. As we know, Doomsday stars everyone from Hemsworth, Mackie, Duke, Hiddleston, Stan, Wright, Rudd, and Downey Jr., Russell, Liu, Huerta, Mejera, Pugh, Ramirez, Harbor, John Kamen, and Pullman are all joining the Avengers franchise, as well as the Fantastic Four with Pascal, Kirby, Mas Baccarat, and Quinn. And X-Men franchise stars Grammer, Stewart, McKellen, Cumming, Romaine, Marsden, and Deadpool and Wolverine star Tatum. Set to drop in 2026, December 18, 2026, with Secret Wars coming December 17, 2027. So, Coy, you hear all that with Alan Cumming and the idea that he was, doing the kind of replacement thing, which is something that's pretty standard in movies. Obviously, I think with this, you are dealing with so many people. I am 99% positive, even the Avengers Assemble on your left thing that we all clamor over an Endgame, there's a reason, not just to make it easier on your eyes to see every individual player. Part of the reason that was probably shot that way is like, all right, bro, we can only make Tom and Wong and Cumberbatch together in a scene. So because of timing, and we can only get the Wakanda folks at the same time because of timing. So we'll shoot it in chunks. Okay, today's Wakanda Day. Everybody Wakanda picture like you were doing the club photos. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, okay, chess club, come on in. Okay, band, come on in. Okay, football team, come on in. What do you think hearing about this? Does this worry you? Does it sound like business as usual? What's your thoughts?
I am going to tell you guys right now, when I heard MasterClass was coming on to sponsor the show, I was like, oh, this is great. I've been using MasterClass forever. It's just the best. So I've been talking about business, the way the business works in the movie business, and they have the Masterclass by Bob Iger that I use. And man, just listening to that guy and the access that you get because of Masterclass, holy moly. I was able to use some of those tips and things that he was saying, and just like little exercises that he does in his life when he wakes up, the things that you try to do, even something simple as just not even being around your phone. Hearing people that you're like, oh, look at what they've done, what they've accomplished, and clearly they have some kind of game plan. That's what you get from Masterclass, because there's nothing from gaining a fresh perspective from experts who've seen it all, and they got the wisdom to prove it. So that's what I got when I was listening to that Bob Iger one. It really has changed my whole perspective on all of this. A masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. It's got plans starting at like $10 a month. It's billed annually, and you get unlimited access to over 200 classes taught by the world's best business leaders, writers, chefs, and more. With Masterclass, you get thousands of bite-sized lessons across 13 categories that can fit into even the busiest of schedules. Super easy. So I know there's a lot of people who are big comedy fans too. There's one the one with Amy Poehler. So you can like apply improv to your daily life. You can develop your singular voice with Mindy Kaling, and you can learn to tell a story that persuades people with Michael Lewis. There's so many different people. So one with Natalie Portman over there. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. And the classes, they do really make a difference. 3 in 4 surveyed members feel inspired every time they watch Masterclass. Include me in there also. Every new membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. There's no risk. Right now, our listeners, you get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/bigthing. That's 15% off at masterclass.com/bigthing. Masterclass.com/bigthing.
I got 3 thoughts. First of which is I do think it's fairly common, and I think this first thought is that we know too much about making movies because we obviously have that in other movies, but we weren't talking about it in Infinity War and Endgame nearly as much. So I think there are elements of looking for things to be bothered by. Second thing is I think that this is probably mostly true, but I do think there's an element of, hey, we need you to have a new soundbite because you did spoil something. So now we need something that you and other people are going to say for the next year because people are actively asking people about Endgame every opportunity they get. I mean, not Endgame, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like Hemsworth just did Limitless press and people weren't asking about Limitless because the sound bites are going to be better off Secret Wars. So I do think that they need to keep some things close to the vest for the next year. So I think it's smart to say like, oh, I didn't act with anybody. So I think it is somewhat true, but also there's that element. And 3, I don't think that anyone should be in a position of like, you don't know what the story is going to be. It does sound like this was just, put together in pieces. Why would you want to say who you're acting with? Because that automatically gives people context. So I think it's a many tiered thing. It might be true. It might not be true. And that's the point.
No, I think so. I think keeping it close to the vest is smart. Look, I feel like they're going to do anything. If they really wanted to say who he was acting with, you could just be, oh man, it was so cool to see Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen again. I miss them, man. They my boys. Like, and leave it at that. If you're gonna, because then it's just like, okay, well, yeah, it would make sense you'd be with the other X-Men at some point if you were gonna try and keep a secret. Don't talk about who you cross paths with otherwise, unless it was somebody you were already kind of related to, if that kind of makes sense. But no, I think we as a society know more about making movies as is. I mean, look, who wasn't watching this show at least, or watching anything Christian as far as that goes, meaning they were movie buffs or they felt like they were close to it anyway, that didn't watch every DVD behind the scenes making of as is. A lot of this stuff is stuff that people that are a part of this audience would know about from that, let alone you and I who have actually spent our careers making movies and TV and content and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff there. So I don't necessarily think anything he said is too out of pocket per se.
No, I do think there's an element of like, I'm really enjoying the behind the scenes stuff on Superman now that Superman's out. Right. But like when we watched audio commentaries, it was on a completed movie.
Right. That makes sense.
So I do think there's a different element of, I think we expose too much in pre-production. And I think that what I'm loving about Spider-Man is how much they're putting out that's misinformation. Like, I love that they're like, yeah, this is happening. And like, a lot of it might not be true. I want more movies to lie to me.
I mean, that would be nice. The less I knew, the better. I would definitely say that much. And I'll be honest with you. I've said this before. I'm cool with interviews and stuff like this. Obviously, the actors have to be careful, the Hollands and the Cummings of the world, that they don't, oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Or Ruffalo too. I know he's another bad one. But I have actively said that I am not the biggest fan of all the scooper stuff, just kind of constantly feeding things. I don't mind necessarily people telling me that somebody is like in a movie, but it feels like at times it's a rush to see who can ruin a movie first.
Yeah. And it's a lack of like movies are storytelling, and not only is it something that is part of the journey of making it, but creativity changes. So knowing too much too early causes problems because those things might change. And also, if you know too much out of context, you write your own story. Like if you hear two people are in a movie, you think of those interactions. And then if those interactions don't happen and they're in the movie, you're disappointed because you knew too much going in, and you like, it's natural to write your own version of what you want. So the more that gets revealed, and especially when it's done egregiously, then it is undermining the movie industry. So I don't love it.
Can you imagine that, like in like the height of when the Harry Potter books were dropping? If they were like, you had like, yo, this is from Extracto Patron of these nuts. They say that apparently Voldemort will return in the Goblet of Fire, bro.
Right.
He will be back. We were expected to see him make an appearance, and he's probably gonna murder Cedric Diggory. Spoiler alert, guys, the books have been out since like 2002. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where like you don't know. I even think of music. You sometimes get track or album leaks, which is obviously horrible, and you know, everybody go down. But nobody's out here being like, and now, yo, we got an exclusive bar from who hot right now? My brain is shot.
I mean, Eminem's had song leaks and he's just canceled albums. Like
Yes.
if something, you know what I mean? If something comes out, he's like, nah, it's not coming out now.
Swift just announced a new album. If all of a sudden bars from some of her songs dropped, I would assume that people would genuinely be pissed, because again, part of the experience is being able to have the full process and explore it in real time. Same thing with books. Like, you would occasionally get a specific, like if an author held a book signing, they might read a snippet from the book.
But they're choosing that, and they're the ones that wrote the books.
So they know exactly, versus this idea of just giving away the secrets. It's one of those things that's just kind of crazy to me, because I remember the random surprises that you would get when movies, you would go to the midnight release of something, go, oh shit, oh my god, so-and-so it is, bruh. Like that was the thing you looked forward to, and it feels like it's a game to see who can ruin that first.
And I love going back and watching old movies, and like movies from the 80s and 90s, and seeing actors pop up I didn't know were in it. Now that doesn't happen in either direction, because we know everyone that's in it by the time it's out. We know every character that's in it, and it does feel malicious. Like, it does feel like it's like, who can scoop it first? And that's a bummer. That's not like celebrating art.
Absolutely. And like I understand that art in and of itself, especially the different mediums, release in different ways, hit people in different ways. But there is something about art, because art is always supposed to be, what is the emotional draw to it? Letting your emotions fully be enveloped when it's time, or how the artist wants it to be presented,
revealed and exposed. And I think, as it is, having different people cut your trailers is dangerous. And that's like an official thing. So like, there's so many issues, and hopefully it gets better, but I definitely think we're in peak spoil everything as much. And like, some people that have that audacity to tell, like, well, I don't mind spoilers, so I don't have a problem with them. Like, congrats to you. I don't care about your experience.
That's the whole thing. Saying that to me feels like someone being like, well, I like my steaks well done, I think they're great. I'm like, cool. I can't stand it. And I would appreciate if we didn't automatically burn every steak. How about if you want to let me have my medium rare, and then if you want to put some to the side for the well done people, great.
It's a peeing section in a pool. I don't want to be in your piss. I don't care if you like peeing in it.
But it's all good. I mean, look, we're not going to sit here and pretend like we didn't just report on stuff kind of going, and we do every week, as this show does, to talk about the stuff that's out there. But again, it's because it is directly out there. I guess that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't
a quote from the actor, that's a different thing.
That's what I'm saying. Quote from the actor is a different thing. I also just think from the standpoint of, if it wasn't out there, we'd find something else to talk about. But it's the hot thing to talk about. So it is what it is, man. So we want to know what you think, man. Get in the comments. Let us know. You know, what do you think about Alan Cumming's quote about not knowing who he was acting with? If you feel the same way that Coy and I do about scoops and stuff like that and spoilers, let us know what you got going on there.